little angel honey fires. Okay, like this is going to be a job and I want to grow it, and I went into it fully delusional. I was thinking for today's video, we just do a cutie little Q&A. A cutie little Q&A, a cutie little Q&A. We just got back from the brand trip with Ulta Beauty in LA, and I don't feel like vlogging because I'm very tired and I feel like I'm coming down with a cold. I asked you guys a bunch of questions on Instagram. If you guys don't follow me, it's right there. And we have a little bit of cafecito, so we're gonna do a little café con chisme. And I feel like we need to do this like once a week. Okay, no, rewind. We need to do it once a month because once a week is too much. I asked you guys to ask me anything about like content creation, any questions you guys had about the brand trip, and y'all came through. I just got back from a walk with Duke and it's hot, and I wore my ankle weights. I have a picture right here. Get into that swag, girls. So we're just gonna get into the questions, and I'm gonna answer them as truthfully and as honesta as I can. And I might not answer all of them because some of them are like kind of a little bit redundant. Were you ever scared of what people you knew would think of you posting? Absolutely. I feel like I had this like fear when I first started social media because I started off on Instagram Reels. I feel like when you when you have like people that follow you from like high school, college, wherever you're at in life, I feel like the way that they perceive you in person might not be exactly who you are on social media, and that's maybe not how you want to be perceived. We kind of get into this rhythm of like feeling embarrassed. For example, I went to undergrad, like I went to college and then I went to grad school. For a little bit, I was thinking like, oh, Isa went to grad school, she's not gonna like she's not using her degrees like she's an influencer. And like, honestly, when it came down to it, I was like, that's how I think of myself. No one's thinking that, and if they are thinking that, no one's really talking about it. Out of sight, out of mind. So I think that that's like one hurdle that a lot of people have to kind of like get through. The simple answer is yes, I was scared, but you kind of learn to like get through that. And I will say one thing about this is that there are people that wanted nothing to do with you before, and then you clock that T. All of a sudden, they're in your DMs. Oh my god. The energy in your aura is like really off, and I don't like it. You gotta have to protect your peace. Protect your heart, but show it at the same time. It's a good balance. Can make an entire video on how to do that. Next, K Sizzle said, what has been the biggest lesson you've had so far from becoming a content creator? I think literally what I just said to finish off the last question was kind of like, you have to share your heart while protecting your peace. That's the biggest, like, I think lesson I've had to take away, because when you're on social media, whether you're doing lifestyle, you're just making coffee, doing beauty, you're doing fashion, you're showing a lot of your personality. You're showing a lot of like your personal niche interests. For some, it can be a little bit daunting for people not to like those interests, or for people not to like your personality. For example, in other jobs, like it's very metric focused, it's very numerical, there's percentages, there's quotas, there's things that you have to meet, deliverables you have to do. And not saying that it's not like that in social media, it's very metric based. But when you're a lifestyle influencer, you're a beauty influencer, a lot of the things that you're showing are your personal niche interests. It's your face, it's your personality, it's your heart. So when someone doesn't like that, I feel like oftentimes it hurts a little bit more. And it's like, okay, if my boss didn't like this presentation I did or this whatever deliverable I had, okay, when I go home, I'm still me. But it's like I'm showing my heart to the internet and the vast empty world, accounts that can be mean. It hurts a little bit more when like my job is to do that and then like people don't like it. So it hurts, it stings a little bit more. I think that's like the biggest lesson I've had to learn. I want you guys to know what's on here, but also protect my peace, and also like know that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. This is not everyone's cup of tea. The little tiny Petite skinny jokes is not everyone's cup of tea. So you kind of just have to jump through those hurdles as they come. Hi Sav. Sav said, at what point did you feel comfortable leaving your full-time job / 9-to-5? Funny enough, I didn't. I actually never have worked a 9-to-5 in corporate America. That's not to say I haven't had jobs. I've had many jobs. I went from undergrad to grad school immediately into social media because I applied to like over 30 jobs when I was in the process of graduating from grad school, and I applied to so many jobs, and I couldn't get a job. And I was starting to get some followers on social media. I was starting to make some sufficient money, I was like, you know what? In the meantime, while I wait for these job postings to like get back to me and whatever, I'm gonna dive full force into this. And then I did that about a year ago because I graduated from grad school at the end of July of 2023 and it's July of 2024. So it's been a year of me like really treating it as a business. It's grown substantially, like completely done a 180. I didn't leave my job because I didn't have one, but I think I would have felt comfortable leaving a job if I was making what I'm making now. You want to feel comfortable leaving your job if like you have more than enough to, you know, finances to like pay your bills. I think it's so super slay for people to be like in corporate America but also making influencer money and like doing that kind of stuff because it's multiple streams of income, and if one goes away you still have the other. Like I know if this went away in like the split second, like I still have my degrees. If you are thinking about leaving your 9 to 5, I would really suggest that you take all of your finances that you have, like all of the bills that you have to pay, and say, okay, can I cover this amount and still have like plenty to save? Or you can take a leap of faith, start trying to like build up your finances and stuff like that. But I can't give you a very concrete answer. It's very much dependent on your finances. Can answer so many other questions about this, like actual rates and stuff like that. So if you want to know more for the next one, for the little cafecito con chisme, we'll do that. Abs0312, what a beautiful name. Dream collab could be a person or a company. I think like anything Ariana Grande. Like it would be so slay Ariana Grande for me to work with Ariana Grande. Like that woman, I literally love her. I would love to do anything with REM Beauty. Okay, is it REM or is it REM? I don't know. Because I would think it's REM. You're in like rapid eye movement. I don't know. I would love to go to like the Wicked premiere. I would love to go to Eternal Sunshine, like the tour, and work with her on that. I'd love to like just get in the studio and be like, I think Selena Gomez is another person that I would love to work with. Those are just like two of like my main girls. I really would love to get into more luxury brands, like even just like Coach, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, kind of like work with brands like that. I think that would be like really, really cool. They also asked, how did you get started with becoming an influencer? Like I said, yeah, I was in grad school. I was posting reels on Instagram, and then in April 2022, I downloaded TikTok because my reels were doing like okay. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this as a job because I was like so anti-TikTok. I was like, pick me, choose me, love me. I don't have a TikTok, ooh, because I thought I was addicted. Like I thought I would get addicted, and I was correct. I like foresaw like the future. Definitely an addiction. My strange addiction, it's fine. I downloaded it and I went into downloading it by thinking like, okay, like this is going to be a job and I want to grow it. Like I wasn't just like, oh, silly cuckoo caca. I was like, no. We are going to grow and we're going to do this. And I went into it fully delusional. And then I just started posting things on TikTok, kind of like trying to figure out how the algorithm worked, how the app worked, how like what things were popping off, what things weren't. I went through like some fitness stuff on there. I went through like weight loss journey stuff. I went through like being a wife and being a grad student, blah, blah, blah. I did gift guides and whatnot. And then I think the things that like really stuck were like my morning routines, my hauls, and then just like my vlogs. That's a very short timeline of how I got started in it. Okay, Stephanie asked, as a Latina, did you feel out of place? I think I'm so suburbanized. I say I'm Latina, but technically I'm Hispanic because like I was born here in America. I'm so used to like the beauty gurus and the YouTube world that I really didn't feel out of place. I think that I just didn't see as many Latinas on my For You page on TikTok as like I maybe wanted to. And I didn't see like as much like Spanglish TikTok and like videos that like made me laugh because it like reminded me of my family in Colombia and stuff like that. So I think as Latinas, like we have to just like make, you know, kind of like pave that road. I don't think I've ever really felt out of place, but I will say that when I was on this brand trip with Ulta, there were a good number of Latinas on it, and we were able to like really bond over a lot of things. The brown and black girls, we were able to like really talk about like a lot of things as like content creators and just bond over that, you know, and like really have like deep, meaningful conversations that like went beneath the surface level and weren't too like artificial. So yeah, it was really cool. I just don't think I've ever like really felt out of place because I'm kind of like this chameleon. Like I can blend in anywhere. I like start morphing into like my surroundings, but I know that there's a lot of people that do feel that way. So that's why I try and like be a little bit more representative of my culture, and I think I should do a better job of it, but I get nervy and then I forget the words in Espanol. Te adoro. Te adoro también. Besos. Do you think it's difficult to grow your platforms? Okay. the two. Yes, I think it is. I think for most people, YouTube is the slowest growing platform. You get a community that really knows you because you have this long form content that feels very authentic. It's not as fast cut, it's not as fast paced. So you start to like kind of create this community of people that like really know you as much as you let them, right? Show your heart, protect your peace. YouTube has been my hardest to grow. TikTok has been my easiest to grow up until this point. I think TikTok, it's a little bit of strategy, it's a little bit of quality, and it's a little bit of luck. You know, like you have to kind of curate this like perfect baby of a video on TikTok to be able to like get it on the For You page and for it to be able to like convert people to followers, right? But it takes a while, and like you can gain 5,000 followers in 3 days and then be stuck in that follower count for 3 months. You know, it's happened to me before. I think it's really easy to grow fast on there, but it can get a little bit stagnant at times. Whereas Instagram, I've had my Instagram for like 10 years now. It's the same Instagram that I signed up with when I was like in middle school. And I always just used it casually, but I started posting reels on there. I was growing a little bit, but then it just like stopped because I stopped putting in effort. I made my Instagram so casual. I honestly like did not like Instagram. I would only really post on stories. My manager, when we started working together, she was like, please, for the love of God, Issa, just like post on Instagram. She was like, post a reel, just syndicate it from TikTok and put it on reels, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. And I think that Instagram has done a really good job in improving their algorithm and their reels function. I'm very active on stories, and I'm starting to post more reels, and I've been growing. I think we gained like 4,000 followers in just like the past 2 months. The thing is, I think that a lot of people need to understand that like different platforms have different purposes, right? So like you can use YouTube to be like, hey girls, like let's chill, like let's have fun, let's do like a little kiki, let's do kind of like Q&As, let's do a really in-depth product review, let me bring you along with me on my week, let me bring you with me on my vacation, like let's talk, let's chat, let's chill, right? I think that that's like YouTube is like very much like that. And then you have TikTok, which is like fast-paced, it's trends, it's lip syncing, it's come get my nails done with me. It's very fast-paced, which like right now she's just pissing me off a little bit, not gonna lie. Just the algorithm, it's fine, we're getting through it. Instagram, I feel like can kind of get to this place. It's like a little bit more aesthetic. Like you have like your aesthetic pictures on there, you have like your aesthetic reels, and like you put like your cute little stories, and you can make it whatever. You can make these platforms whatever you want, but this is how my brain computes and like compartmentalizes everything. Compartmentalizes everything. It can be difficult to grow platforms, but if you know the purpose behind each platform, and I say this to people all the time, like start with your why. There's this amazing book by Simon Sinek that says start with why, and it's very much like businessy, but like if you're gonna treat social media as a business, really treat it as a business. You know, if you want to be an aesthetic girl, if you want to be a relatable girl, whatever it may be, and you can be all of them, but be intentional about it, then I think that your platforms will grow. And I'm still in the process of growing my platforms, and I'm still in the process of trying to find my why. Multifaceted, multi-passionate, like amazing people like myself. It can be a little bit hard because I have a lot of passions, right? Like I love makeup, I love beauty, I love like home decor, family stuff. I love talking about business, and I love like giving advice. So like sometimes I feel like certain platforms are a little bit easier or in like more welcoming for that content. I was talking with one of the creators on the trip, and her name is Naz, and she's amazing, and she was just saying that I was asking her like, how do you grow your platform? She's very successful, and I look up to her and I admire her a lot. And she was just saying like, water whatever's wanting to grow. So she was like, if your Instagram reels are taking off, water that. Like treat them as gardens, kind of like tend to your TikTok garden, tend to your YouTube garden. But like if one of them is really wanting to grow, you water it more without like letting everything else dry out. So would you and your husband be open to a YouTube channel together? Love from South Africa. Oh my God, South Africa slay. No. No, this is for the girls and the gays and the bays. Like, my husband doesn't really love social media. He doesn't love being like in front of the camera, and I just like have learned to respect that. I said protect my peace, and my peace is my relationship and my marriage. So I'm like, this is for the girls. This is Issa's channel. This is Issa's little world here. That's that. Natalie said, teach me how to slay. I don't know, I was born like this. My dearest Sabby, said, I want to be more genuine, but I'm scared that it will flop. How did you find your style on TikTok? Like, back to the first thing I said, like, you kind of have to just like show your heart, and you don't have to show all of yourself. Like, you don't have to be like, here's everything that I love. Like, I think Brittany Broski does a really good job of doing this, of like, she shows her like niche interests, but like she gives us a little bit, and she like will show us and like demonstrate that like she's knowledgeable about things, but like won't be like, here's what I like. It's like, yeah, here's what I like, and I'm just gonna make a video about it because I think it's really silly. You know, I think like being more genuine is so important in this industry. And I was telling my sister-in-law about this the other day. It's like, if you feel a little bit like uncomfy in front of the camera because it's completely natural, I think that one of the ways that I do it is I just pretend that like, one, no one is gonna see this video, two, that I'm like just FaceTiming my mom or like my best friend or something like that, and then three is I will just pretend I'm like sending a voice note, like a voice memo to like one of the girls or something, you know? Being yourself in front of the camera, who you would be in front of like the people that make like, that bring out the best in you, is something really important. Who you are at your best moments and who you are when you feel like you're with people who like accept and see your heart is really what you should capitalize on and like share that. Being scared that your videos are gonna flop if you show yourself genuinely is a completely valid fear. I've gone through that, so I can empathize with that. So I think that, not my camera like unaliving while I was just talking about that. Yeah, that's a completely valid fear, and I think that like just shart, you'll be fine. Just start showing like little parts of yourself and make the mundane moments exciting. Make your life seem interesting and people will listen. You know what I mean? Even if you're like literally going to the grocery store for like a papaya or something like that, just make it interesting and make people want to care. And they will, I promise. Hits Little Bubble said, shooting videos and reels and how to make nice videos. Please share all the resources. That I like to shoot a lot of things with my back camera. I have two phones. This one's the 15 and that one is the 14 Pro Max. You do not have to have two phones to be a content creator. Please do not go breaking the bank. Please do not get something that you don't need. I just found that it was really difficult for me with the amount of content I was creating to have one phone, and I was like very overwhelmed. I went ahead and I got a second phone. I have a camera as well. What I always tell people is, and I will always continue to say that, shoot with your back camera. I shoot in HD and 60 frames per second. I use CapCut to edit. That's text overlay, that's captions, music, voiceover, everything I'll do for partnerships because they want like the finished result. If I'm just like doing like a shop with me or come get your nails done with me video, I'll typically just like film on my phone, edit in CapCut, and then export it. And when I export it, I highly suggest exporting it in 1080p and 60 frames per second, because social media, like these platforms, will typically like compress your video, and then when it's compressed, it comes up like it's kind of like flagged on the algorithm as like not a good quality video, so it doesn't get pushed out as much. I'll export it, I'll upload it into TikTok, and then I will put my text overlay and my music within the app. So it kind of just like helps with like my SEO and all that kind of stuff. So a good hook, a good visual hook, that kind of stuff is really important and fast-paced still on TikTok. So your favorite moment from the brand trip, and I think it was just bonding with all the creators. I think people are so beautiful and humans are so wonderful, and it's like just so fun to like be around people that have the same job as you. I think it's just like so rewarding to be around people that motivate you and that cheer you on. I think every moment that I had the opportunity to bond with people was really cool. I think being able to talk with founders of companies, we were able to talk with the founder of Noise Fragrances, with Osea, Ulla Henriksen. I think that it was really insightful to be able to speak with owners and to be able to speak with the people behind the brands. Yeah, I learned a lot. Again, I can make a whole nother video on this. And that is the end of my yapathon. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk. There's definitely a few more questions that I didn't get to, but guys, we can do a little café con chisme, un cafecito con Isa. We can do this monthly if you guys want it. Let me know. Literally, I love you so much. You are so worthy. You are so valued. You are so beautiful. You are so intelligent. You are so wow, 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 boom, boom, pow. Bye, my angel honey pies.